Well, the time has come for me to review Rushmore from 1998. This is would we call this the first studio film of Wes Anderson? Yeah. Hello, Mr. Anderson, right? Well, this is a movie starring Jason Schwartzman, Olivia Williams, Bill Murray, and Seymour Cassell. And I gotta say, first time seeing this, doesn't live up to the hype. You know, in some ways, the restraints put on Wes Anderson, a then 29-year-old, 28, 29-year-old director, given some money from a major studio. This is actually Touchstone Pictures. This is a Disney movie, and it may be the only Disney movie to have nudity by proxy that I'm aware of. More on that in a bit. But I feel like some of the restraints put on him allowed this to be a little more focused and a little more appealing to me than some of his latter schlock, where he's just given free rein to make everything into a storybook. Here, we have this guy, Max Fisher, played by Jason Schwartzman, who is super overachiever, outgoing type, but a poor student. So it's really weird to have this guy who is into all of these extracurricular activities, but also a terrible student. He's at this Rushmore Academy where this guy, I'm just going to call him Bill Murray, he's up there one day, he gives some kind of speech, kind of a screw you kind of thing, like, whatever, I'm here giving a speech. And this guy actually liked his speech. Now, Jason Schwartzman, he's into making plays, and he got into this academy on a scholarship because he wrote a play when he was in second grade, and he does a good job putting on all the plays and everything. And I feel like that kind of venue is where Wes Anderson is more at home. He makes his movies presented largely like a play. Everything is shot straight on. Everything's presented with these sort of like 90-degree angles to the action. A lot of the talent is facing straight on towards the camera. A lot of times there's rarely blocking even. Now, at the time, it could seem kind of fresh here, but it is his style, and because it's this unique style, the critic's darling, right? Well, you know, in some ways it works, in some it doesn't. I feel like it works better here, particularly when the movie concerns a guy who likes to put on plays. So why not have the movie presented as though it's a play? You have curtains saying what month it is and the such, right? I feel like that's a little more appropriate. There's also the aquatic theme here. Steve Zissou shows up later in his filmography, right? Well, there's a big deal about aquarium here. They talk about building a giant aquarium that's going to cost like $10 million. You never see the thing. But anyways, Jason Schwartzman, he meets this new teacher on the scene at Rushmore. She's teaching little kids. She's British, not all that hot, Olivia Williams. And he grows fond of her, and they're hanging out, and it doesn't seem appropriate, and it super doesn't seem appropriate in 2018. But it's hard for me to look at something in 1998 and be like, that's old. Like, I just have a hard time thinking of 1998 as old. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I'm looking at this, and it doesn't look like an old movie at most times, right? Because when I'm thinking old movie, I'm thinking 70s, right? Not something that looks like it was shot today. And Bill Murray, kid you not, has been going bald for 40 years now. Look it up. So, Jason Schwartzman is really putting it on this teacher, and Bill Murray kind of befriends him because no one else wants to be his friend. And they did have a cute little exchange where they're talking at this wrestling meet, and then all of a sudden, Jason Schwartzman throws off his clothes, and he's an alternate, and he gets pinned in no time. I thought that was funny enough. There were some cute moments here. There's also a guy. He has the hair and voice of Owen Wilson, not Owen Wilson, but his older brother. And then at the end, you find out, Owen Wilson was one of the producers and writers on this, because he was in Ball Rocket. And this may be the only Wes Anderson film Owen Wilson isn't in. May have to look that up. At any rate, This was an okay film. I liked when things got to the rivalry because I recall the TV ad spots for this showing it as a rivalry between Jason Schwartzman and I assumed another teacher, Bill Murray, for this teacher, Olivia Williams. And it doesn't quite play up like that. Like half the movie, they're pals. There's a rivalry in like the second act, and then they kind of come together. And Jason Schwartzman eventually tries to get Bill Murray to win over Olivia Williams. But it seems like her character isn't really worth the effort. She's fixated on her dead husband. Yeah. Is she really that interesting? I'm not so seeing it. But in the commercial, you had this quick montage that was actually better than what happened in the film. You had what appeared to be in the TV ad, Bill Murray taking Jason Schwartzman's bike and smashing it, and then it looked like Jason Schwartzman then put it under Bill Murray's car to damage his car, like return the favor. But that's not the way it plays out in the movie. Instead, it's a quick Bill Murray takes his bike. When Jason Schwartzman got expelled from Rushmore and ended up in public school. More on that second. So he takes his bike, smashes it, puts it back. It was actually better than the TV spot. Also, the first scene where Jason Schwartzman's expelled from Rushmore and he gets put into public school, on the right side of the screen, super cute chick there, Alexis Bledel. This might be like her first credit. She doesn't even talk in this movie. It's kind of like how the Wasp chick, she's in Spider-Man. She's like in the background. You don't remember that? Well, she is. So, as this stuff is going down, Jason Schwartzman then puts together another play, and it's set in Vietnam, and all these people are attending, whether they like him or not. It's kind of weird to think that the kid is such a master of this craft that people are coming out of the woodwork to see this. But it's a nice play. I just can't totally believe high school kids could put it on. He's a jerk to too many damn people. Even the cute Asian chick who's into him. At some point, I'm like, look, can I continue watching this? I just hate every character. And he ends up with some redeeming qualities by the end. His play kind of brings people together. He now has the new girlfriend, the Asian chick. It looks like Bill Murray's getting together with Olivia Williams, Olivia Wilde. They've probably done a movie together. So things come together, and in the aftermath of this play, they've got some of the sets sitting out there, and it's set in Vietnam. You got these very young high school kids, and they're like have a bunker with Playboy centerfolds all over it, and there's your nudity by proxy in a Touchstone Pictures film. Yeah, that's something. Well, with this Fox thing going down, and also with Miramax, Disney had Miramax when they were stuffing naked people in left, right, and center, right? Or were they not during that period? I don't know. I think Disney has some rights to some naked movies. It wasn't laugh out loud hilarious through and through for the sake of a comedy. There were cute moments. I hated too many of the characters for far too long, and even by the end, I'm not totally down with Jason Schwartzman's Max. Maybe he needs some picking on, honestly, and it was nice seeing people turn against him. So is this a character you're rooting against? It was an okay movie. I give Rushmore 2.5 out of 4 stars.